She notices first in passing, a fleeting recognition that something is different, a silence where there was once presence. At first it does not trouble her. People get busy, conversations pause, but the absence is there, settled like a whisper in the back of her mind. By the second day, she begins to wonder. Thoughts that she brushes aside return in quiet moments. Had she missed a sign? Had something shifted? She does not ask, does not reach out. Pride keeps her still. But the silence grows louder, filling spaces where certainty once lived. By the third, she catches herself checking. A glance at her phone, a flicker of expectation before realizing there is nothing. No message, no sign. She scrolls through past conversations as if searching for an answer hidden between words already spoken. She does not yet admit that she is waiting, but she is. On the fourth, something deeper stirs. A frustration, a quiet disbelief. This is not how it is supposed to be. Absence is supposed to demand attention, to call out for closure. But this absence remains steady, unmoved, deliberate. And that is what unsettles her most. Not just that you are gone, but that you are at peace in your going. By the fifth, she lingers in memories she did not expect to revisit. The way you spoke, the way you held yourself, the quiet certainty in your presence. She does not long for a moment, but for a feeling. The way she felt in your orbit, the way you seemed untouchable even when you were close. She realizes now, she had never truly held you. On the sixth, she comes close. Fingers hover over the keyboard, mind racing through reasons to break the silence. But she does not yet. The longer she waits, the heavier the weight of it becomes. She tells herself it does not matter, but she knows the truth. Things that do not matter do not take up this much space in the mind. And on the seventh, she understands. It is not the disappearance that haunts her. It is the ease of it. The way you left without hesitation, without looking back, without needing to be seen. This is what lingers, not desperation, not regret, but the power of a man who does not chase, who does not plead, who does not falter. The weight of silence. She tells herself she is fine, that life moves on, that people come and go. And yet in the quiet moments, in the spaces where distraction fades, your absence remains, not as a wound, but as a presence of its own. She does not speak of it, not openly, but it is there, beneath the surface, in the way she hesitates before opening her messages, in the way she lingers just a little too long on a memory. The world around her continues, unchanged, but she is not the same. She wonders at times if you think of her, if the silence is heavy for you too. But deep down, she already knows the answer. She has seen it in the way you carried yourself, in the quiet strength of your presence. You do not hold on to what no longer serves you. You do not wait. You do not chase. And that is what unsettles her most. Not just that you are gone, but that you left with such ease. She does not realize it yet, but she is learning something. That a man who can walk away without hesitation is a man who has something rare. Self-mastery, control, discipline. These things are not common and they are not forgettable. She keeps waiting, though she will not admit it. Not just for a message, but for a sign. A moment that will make sense of it all. But nothing comes. Just silence. And as the days pass, she understands. Sometimes the loudest thing a man can say is nothing at all. The echo of what was she stops expecting a message, stops waiting for the sound of your name. Life moves forward, pulling her with it. And yet, the absence remains. Not as an open wound, not as fresh grief, but as something quieter, something deeper. A shadow that lingers in the corners of her mind. She laughs with others. She moves through her days, but every so often, without warning, a memory surfaces, unbidden, uninvited. The way you looked at her with quiet certainty. The way your presence never begged, never wavered. The way you walked away, not as an act of anger or manipulation, but with the ease of a man who needs nothing outside himself. And it is in these moments that she realizes it was never about what you said. It was about what you didn't say. Most men, when they leave behind noise, excuses, explanations, attempts to hold on to something already slipping away. But you left nothing but silence. And in doing so, you became the loudest voice in her mind. She wonders now if she ever truly knew you, if she mistook closeness for possession, mistook your presence for something she could hold. But you were never hers to keep, and that, she understands too late, is what made you different. She does not reach out. Pride holds her back, but so does something else. The quiet realization that she was in the presence of something rare, a man who could walk away and never look back. And in that realization, she finally understands. You did not just leave. You became a ghost she will never escape. The unreachable standard time moves forward, as it always does. The weight of your absence shifts, not gone, but changed. No longer a question, no longer an expectation. Just a presence she cannot shake, a feeling she cannot place. She meets others, talks, laughs, moves through the world as if untouched. And yet something is different. Nothing quite measures up. They speak too much, trying to impress. They reveal their hand too soon, eager for validation. They chased where you stood still. They need where you simply were. She notices the difference even if she does not say it, because now she knows what it looks like. A man who is whole without needing another. A man who gives but never begs, who desires but never clings. A man who can disappear and still remain. And this is what lingers. Not the warmth of your touch, not the memory of your voice, but the way you set a standard she can no longer ignore. For once, a woman has known a man who does not chase, who does not falter, who does not seek permission to walk away. Every other man will seem just a little too desperate, just a little too ordinary. The regret she won't admit. She tells herself she has moved on, that life is full, that love is still possible. And yet, in the quiet moments, the ones she does not share with anyone, she wonders, not just about where you are or what you're doing, but about something deeper. Did she ever truly know you? Did she ever really have you? She thought she did once, thought she understood you, had figured you out. But now she sees it clearly. You were never fully hers to begin with. You were present, but never dependent. Open, but never owned. A man who could give without needing to take. And that is what makes it impossible to forget you. She meets others, some kind, some exciting, some who try to love her in ways she thought she wanted. But there is always something missing, an unshakable feeling that no one quite measures up. Not because they are unworthy, but because they are predictable. They reveal too much, need too much, move too quickly. And then, in the stillness of the night, she thinks of you, the man who disappeared not as an act of spite, but as an act of self-respect. The man who did not need to explain himself. The man who simply walked away. She will never say it out loud, never admit it to anyone, maybe not even to herself. But in the depth of her mind, where honesty cannot be ignored, she knows the truth. She did not lose you. She let you slip away, and there will never be another like you. The one that got away. She doesn't think about you every day, not anymore. Time has softened the edges of your absence, turned what was once sharp into something distant, something faded. But then, out of nowhere, you return. Not in body, not in message, but in thought, in a song that plays unexpectedly, in a scent that catches her off guard, in the way a stranger carries himself, calm, certain, untouchable, and suddenly she is back in the memory of you. She does not reach out, not because she doesn't want to, but because she already knows the outcome. You are not a man who lingers in the past. You do not entertain ghosts. What is done is done. What is left behind stays behind. And yet, in some quiet part of her heart, she wonders if she had understood sooner, if she had held on tighter, if she had matched your stillness instead of testing your patience. Would you have stayed? She will never know. And that is the thought that haunts her. Not your absence, not your silence, but the irrevocable certainty that she will never get another chance. Because some men can be replaced, some men will return, but the rarest ones, the ones who truly know their worth, they leave and they never look back. The silent lesson. She doesn't cry over you, Not anymore. The ache that once sat heavy in her chest has settled into something quieter. Something that doesn't demand to be felt, but never truly leaves. It comes in moments, unexpected and uninvited. When she watches a man hesitate, unsure of himself. When she hears empty words spoken with no conviction. When she realizes yet again that what she seeks is not easily found. And that's when she understands. You were not just a man, you were a lesson. A lesson in patience, in self-respect, in restraint. A lesson in what it means for a man to hold his frame, to move with certainty, to never chase what does not freely come to him. At the time, she mistook your silence for indifference, your absence for punishment. But now she knows the truth. You did not disappear to hurt her. You disappeared because it was simply time to go. And that is why she will never forget you. Not because of what you did, but because of what you didn't do. You did not beg. You did not plead. You did not return. And in doing so, you taught her the rarest truth of all. Real power is in knowing when to walk away. The man she can't replace. She has moved on. At least that's what she tells herself. The days have stretched into months. The seasons have changed and life has continued without you. She has met others. Some have been kind, some exciting, some willing to give her the world, but none have left an imprint the way you did. And now she understands why. It was never about what you gave. It was about what you withheld. Your presence was steady but never needy. Your words were few, but always meaningful. Your absence, when it came, was final. Most men, when they leave, do so loudly, through anger, through argument, through desperate attempts to be pulled back. But you left in silence, with certainty, and in doing so, you became unforgettable. She will not chase you now. She knows it would be pointless. Men like you do not return to what they have already let go. And so, she does the only thing she can do. She carries on. But now with a new weight, a quiet realization. There are many men in this world, but only once did she meet one like you. And once is all it took. The ghost that stays. She does not speak of you anymore. Not to her friends, not even to herself. But some ghosts do not need words to exist. They linger in the quiet spaces, in the men who fall short, in the moments that feel hollow, in the absence of something she can't quite name. She has tried to replace you, not consciously, not deliberately. But every time she meets someone new, she measures them against a standard they do not even know exists. And every time, they fall just a little short, because they want too much. They reveal too quickly. They try too hard to be something they think she desires. But you were different. You gave without expectation, stayed without attachment, left without hesitation. A man who owned himself so fully that he could not be owned by anyone else. And that is what she misses, not just you, but what you represented. A kind of strength that is so rare, so unshakable, that once a woman has seen it, nothing else ever feels quite the same. She tells herself she has moved on, and in many ways she has. But late at night, when the world is quiet and there is no one to impress, she thinks of you, not with sadness, not with longing, but with something far more powerful, respect, because now she understands. You did not leave her behind. You simply walked a path she was never ready to follow. And that is why she will never forget you. The one she never got back. She no longer expects to see your name appear. She no longer waits for the message that will never come. But some losses are not felt in a single moment. They unfold over time, revealing their weight in layers she did not notice before. At first, she thought it was just another ending. People come and go, love fades, and life moves on. But this was different. You were different. Now she understands the truth. You were never trying to be irreplaceable. You simply were. You never needed to prove your worth. You never sought validation. You never chased what did not come willingly. And now she sees what she could not before. You were not testing her. You were teaching her. A lesson in patience. A lesson in control. A lesson in the quiet strength of a man who does not fear loss, because he is complete within himself. She wonders if she had met you now, with the wisdom of regret, if things would have been different, if she would have held on tighter, spoken softer, understood sooner. But it does not matter, because you are gone, and men like you do not look back. She will move forward, she will love again, but deep down she knows the truth. Some men leave footprints so deep, no one else can ever walk in them. The man she will always remember. Time has done its work. The sharp edges of your absence have softened, the ache has dulled. She has built a life without you, as people do. But some men do not fade. Some men remain. Not in the way she once hoped, not as a return, not as a second chance, but as a standard, as the measure against which all others fall short. She does not admit it, not even to herself. But every now and then, when a man hesitates, when he falters, when he clings too tightly or reveals too much, she thinks of you. You who never chased. You who never begged. You who walked away without needing to be asked twice. And in those moments, she understands. It was never about wanting you back. It was about realizing she would never have another like you. Because men like you do not come around twice. They do not linger in half-hearted connections. They do not entertain what does not serve them. They do not return to what they have already left. And that is what makes you unforgettable. Not because you stayed, but because you left and never had to be asked why.